Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. Welcome to day two of the scans, and again, stock scans for June the 20th, 2024, Thursday evening here, and just looking at the charts. Gone through my screens today. Didn't take too many trade. Well, sorry, didn't like too many trades and too many charts, but there's a couple of interesting ones out there. And again, I just wanted to reiterate that this channel will be solely dedicated to screening and sort of what I'm looking at, how I think in terms of taking trades. But I thought, why not from time to time drop in some information and drop in some P&L statistics, just to show to you that I'm sticking true to my word about my risk profiles in terms of dollar value risk per trade and what I entered. And today I definitely felt a bit of FOMO. I definitely did. In the morning, a lot of my triggers were going off. DKS, a couple of other ones, can't really remember, but definitely felt a little bit of FOMO. And it looks like today was not one of those days where you step on the gas. And I entered 3 trades, again, all within reasonable risk profiles. So I'm not losing my account here or anything. And again, this is not for me to guide you, it's just for me to show you. And yeah, today I felt a lot of FOMO, and I dived in, and like I said, 2 losses here on Kava and pins. I stuck to my stops. A little bit of math error here. It's not exactly $30, but you sort of got the idea. My math was off this morning as well. I didn't really feel like, looking back, I was in the right sort of mindset after all those triggers were going off to be entering trades in a rush and, trying to catch moves. So definitely interesting day. TTMI still open, and as I mentioned, guys, my trade journal is TradeZella. I may move away, but for now it's serving the purpose, and I'm loving the fact that it's super intuitive, and they even have this thing called Zella Insights. So for today, no insights, but I don't really use it, but I like the way TradeZella and the platform, how intuitive it is. It's easy to use and very easy to import trades. So TTMI is open. I'll just go quickly onto here. Looking strong still, I guess. This is not a good bar for me personally, right? And some people would have closed it because it closed below the trigger. But what I do want to do is ensure that I am still giving some stocks some room to move, right? And it can go sideways here before it takes off again. I'm looking at it on base report, and TTMI still has, I believe, a strong. Why is it not loading here? Oh my god. Come on. I still believe it has a. Sorry, guys. What's going on? You have to be joking me. Let me just refresh this page, guys. Sorry. TT. There we go. TTMI is still strong on base report. 97, and again the weekly still looking good, monthly looking good. So yes, the daily bar, pin bar, tail bar, inverse hammer, whatever people call it. Not the best of bars on increasing volume, selling pressure here, but it closed still close enough, and I'm not going to cut the trade immediately just because I'm at almost break even, right? So that's that for TTMI. You guys can go look at Kava and pins and just see sort of what the chart did. Pretty self-explanatory. I stuck to my stops from yesterday. Like I said, I can take my stops. I may be placing it in the wrong place, but I have zero issues at this level of risk to take stops and to cut my trades, is what I mean to say. So before I dive into what to the watch list for today, I was looking around Twitter, and one of our good friends that some people know, TA Plot, fantastic guy. I don't know why I'm not subscribed. TA Plot fantastic resource on Twitter. Been trading for quite a few years. He linked his video to a screener, and to be honest, it's not too different from what I am screening for myself. And again, he has different figures here in terms of RS rating, current price, 50-day average volume, but the idea is sort of the same, right? Like again, we want strong charts, good volume, liquidity, and interesting summary here. And he has a couple of other screens on IBD that he uses in terms of IPO stocks and things like that. Definitely recommend you guys go check him out and check out his content. I haven't gone through it all, but definitely one to pay attention to for those newer guys out there. So let's dive right back in. GWRE went through this yesterday. I'm not going to go through it again. Looking good, right? Looking good. I like this double inside bar. Will it take off tomorrow? If it does, I will participate. But what I would like to tell you is one thing I'm seeing here is on the weekly, again, pin bar here, previous pin bar, but lower volume than this momentum bar here. I guess it's sort of expected some selling pressure, but what I'm liking is this is an inside bar on the weekly. So if it can give me a close and close in a similar way tomorrow, I will not, if it's weak or I'll observe. If it takes off in the first 10 minutes, I'm not going to enter. If it takes off later, I will. But if it closes like this with an inside bar on the weekly, I think it's just going to add more confirmation to me that this is how I'm interpreting bullish price action. Again, it'll give an additional day for the 10 EMA to catch up. So yeah, Guidewire still strong on base reports. Sorry guys, still getting used to this. So let me pull it up on base report. Guidewire 97. Again, the group ranking not the best, but looking good in my eyes. Yeah, let's see where things go with Guidewire. Next up, Iron. Again, same thing here in terms of similar pattern. I'm not a traditional inside day, let's call it, but it looks like it's going to close as an inside day. Same thing here. I am on watch tomorrow for a takeout. Inside bar on the weekly. I am looking at here from like a launch pad off. Like again, it's basing here. It's holding these sort of lower days at the previous bar. Again, not an exact science as I said, but I am liking overall what it's looking like, and I am looking. Sorry, there's just too much color here. I'm going to take off some EMAs here. And like I said, we drew this yesterday. This to show off some basic technical analysis trend lines there. I am liking this sort of pattern. Maybe perhaps Friday again. I'm not too keen on taking a trade over the weekend, but if it bases more, fantastic. It's going to add more validity, and I'm looking still for a takeout or breakout over 1480 on IREN. Let me pull it up on base report. And hopefully today's video is quicker, guys. Yesterday was just an introductory, like I said, I like to talk, but yeah, looking decent, decent. 100 as high as it can go. Relative strength, guys. You can see the strength here on base report. Strong group. Let's keep an eye out on IREN. FNKO. Funko. Interesting stuff here, to be honest. It's reclaiming the 21 EMA on the monthly. There is some resistance above around the $13 range here. A little bit lower, actually. Sorry, I drew that poorly. I'm going to call it the $13 to be conservative. I like to be a little bit conservative with my resistance lines or quote-unquote levels. Like I said, I do like to chart them out, but I'm not a crazy chartist where I'm going to draw every resistance. I'm looking to where it can go, and it's, now reclaiming that. It looks like the 10 EMA is starting to move upwards. It's bottomed out. Looks like it's bottomed out on the monthly. I'm not going to make a prediction that it's going to go rise, it's going to go crazy, but I find this chart interesting. on the daily. Look at that base breakout. 875 to 1015. Almost 20, well, 19%, right? It's popped up now on the scanners. And again, it's this chart pattern that I sort of identified, and I guess it's just what some stocks do. Gap up over the 50 or close over the 50-day moving average, make a run, make a pull, base, flag, and push again. And again, it's basing here on the daily, but I don't think I'm gonna take this tomorrow. I'm not too confident in these wicks just yet. And again, Friday tomorrow, don't really want to put on heavy exposure after the weekend. Sorry, just before the weekend and after today, where I felt FOMO. I don't know. I don't really think this is a plus, but it's one to keep an eye out on. Funko here, FNKO. Interesting rating as well on base report 19.9. So one to keep an eye out on, I guess. Funko, BTDR, Bitdeer Technologies. I'm liking this chart, guys. You can see resistance close enough to the $10 psychological level. Again, not an exact science, so please do not kill me. But if it closes like this, guys, again, popping over the 50, EMAs crossed over, I would really like to see this close like this and, just base out here for a bit longer. But I am liking the weekly. I am liking the, it has some room to the upside, right? Clearly does. And for me, this is a strong chart, right? $10, 10.15 psychological. It's pushed down. Some sellers here. Give me a little bit more sideways, please. If it breaks out tomorrow, I won't be taking this, full disclosure. But yeah, BTDR. BTDR. Bitdeer Technologies. Interesting chart, guys. High ADR, good volume on the monthly. Again, like I said, some room to go over this $10 level, maybe to $12, $12.50. I am liking this. It could even go all the way up here to 14. So yes, guys, maybe needed to tighten up a little bit because this is a big candle here, a big range, but maybe we need to tighten up a little bit before it breaks. But clear resistance. Some sellers sitting here over 10.15. I'm looking at BTDR. LTH, interesting chart again, and strong rating on base report 99. Interesting, not really the best, strongest group according to base report from their perspective, but 99 provides health and fitness. Again, I haven't heard of this, but lifetime group holdings. Yeah, it's building out a base, pivot, whatever you want to call it, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it on the daily. It's clearly at a resistance on the weekly as well. This is what I'm liking. It's at a support, which is now turned into resistance. Maybe it gives us a few more days. 1875-ish level is sort of what I'm looking at. But on the daily, it's looking like it could take out this top and go. And again, 1864, let's call it, 1865. Double inside day forming here. Is it ready to take off? If it is, I am a buyer at this level. Like I said, the weekly support turned resistance. If it's going to break, has room to 2035, 2150. This is what I'm looking at, guys. LTH, another strong base report, relative strength ranking, not too high in ADR. Another chart found interesting, 6, right? Clearly some sort of resistance here. It's struggling a bit on the weekly, and again, the weekly candle hasn't closed, but some sort of seller is sitting there. Again, my levels are not perfect, so please do not kill me. I'm looking at it here. Some room to 35, $36 potentially. And I'm looking at the daily. Again, like I said, you know, inside bar, but this needs more sideways. I'm not ready to take it just yet, but what a nice pattern, sort of trend line pattern this is, and a nice hold off the 50-day on the daily, double bottom-ish, and takes off after it breaks the trend line, right? Some people would draw it here, maybe, but if you can incorporate the double bottom, again, down, go up, there you go. It looks like it presented an entry somewhere earlier here, I guess. Let's just look at it. There, or maybe a little bit higher or lower. Sorry, lower. Presented an entry and off it went. I am not going to trade this tomorrow. Sorry. I'm not going to trade this tomorrow. I wanted more sideways, but nice inside bar there. Right. CDE, couple people in some discords, shout out to those guys, they know who they are, mentioned that there's some rotation now into gold and things like that. CDE popped up, 96 rated on base report. Nice base here. Look at this weekly chart, guys. Looking very interesting with room to upside. I'm a buyer. I am a buyer of CDE Coeur Mining. $6 psychological whole number. Looking at a break of 6 for a continuation upwards to 675. 1R will be 637. Stop 560, 63. Weekly chart. Look at this. What more do I need right now? And again, this is clearly a support turned resistance, right? Look at this. Look at where it bounces on the when you go back on the weekly. Support turned resistance, guys. Now it's gonna break, has some room to right about my level, 680-ish, 675. Has some room higher, 775. I don't know if it's gonna go all the way. I'm looking for 2R. I am liking this trade again. Broke above the 50-day. EMA's crossed over. Now it's basing, potentially giving us an entry all the way up to $7 ish. Let's see where it goes. Again, not financial advice, but I'm liking this base. Again, if it goes tomorrow, it goes. I'll be a buyer. So I would say top watch for tomorrow. CDE, IRN, GWRE. LTH is strong. 6 is okay. Maybe a bit longer. BTDR is strong as well, but I feel like this may deserve a little bit sideways, a little bit tighter price action. And again, I know this is a higher ADR one, so I'm not looking for too many, too little of a range. I do understand that may be rangy, but I'm liking this. So yeah, TTMI is open. I am not gonna hit the gas tomorrow. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna slam the brakes either. If one of these three presents itself, I will be a buyer. GWRE, Guidewire, Iron, and Coeur Mining, CDE. I decided to have some fun, guys. Listening to people, Twitter, and there's a guy, one elite chartist or charter, one elite swing trader. Sorry if I'm getting his name wrong. He puts out good charts, and there's a couple of other people that I follow. And there was a saying, right? If you can buy stocks, and you use the mentality that, higher can go higher. It's the same thing with stocks that are going lower. Lower can go lower. So what I just decided to do was to flip my scan, right? And like I said, I am scanning for charts initially with minimum 5, a good 20-day volume of 400k. I upped it a little bit here because I know short's a little bit more riskier, and I had a BPR of 90 as the lower limit there, 95. What I'm trying to do here with BPR is find the weakest stocks as well, and this is just for fun. full disclosure, I will be taking shorts. I'll dive more into a little bit of my strategy and how I plan to de-risk. I will short stocks, and like I said, I'm not planning to short for 10 years, for 5 years, for 1 year. I'm planning to short for a few weeks, get my profits, get out, right? And looking to make a multiple 2R, same sort of strategy here. I'll sort of go through what I'm looking at in terms of scans. Like I said, it's the similar volume to my relative strength scan, and all I'm doing is flipping it over to relative weakness. So BPR here, my max is 10, right? And what that means is I'm looking for stocks to have a BPR of 0, so relative strength of 0, which means the weakest, all the way to 10, which means just in the 10th percentile of base report's weakness scanner. You guys may be saying, oh, this chart is hard to read, but this is one of those ones where I find fun, and you just gotta do an Alt and I, inverse it out, and you will get to see an inverse chart for TD. TD, base report, let's look at the relative weakness, I guess, ranking. TD 2, red, big red. You can see this sell-off. Right, for me, it's forming like a short-term bear flag. It's broken out of this base here on the monthly. Actually, wait, has it broken out? Sorry, I don't want to give the wrong information, but yes, it has. It's looking like that. So it's close to breaking out of the base here on the monthly. What am I looking at here? It's at the lows of this base on the monthly. Yeah, sorry, this is where I need to inverse back. Just to sort of see things a bit more clear. Yeah, sorry, it's broken out of that base on the monthly, and now it has some room to 1551, right? So I am seeing, a short-term flag here on the daily. It's broken out of there. I did not get in there. I was not looking at shorting, but I do think I'm one of those weird guys that will short. You see this? Nice hold at the 21. Nice trending down trend line. And it broke out. And now it's forming another flag. Again, inside day. Is it the best time to take it tomorrow? I don't think so. But, maybe one more bar just to base out a little bit, and then next week it goes. I don't think I'll take it tomorrow, but I am looking to short, guys. And you guys may be saying I'm crazy or things like that, but I just look at it as tools in my skill set. A thing that I learned was that stocks take the staircase up and elevator down, right? So again, I'm not trading options though. Some people I know they control risk by trading options on the short side. They buy puts. They size for 0. I forgot his name. He was on the Trader Lion interview. He has a service called Trading Equilibrium. Matt something, I think his name was. He said he buys options or puts. And again, I'm done with my option trading days, guys. At least for the short term here, I need a break. We may revisit in 6 months, but I'm definitely not revisiting earlier than the end of this year. So TD weakness, and I'm looking for low to go lower, just as people look at high to go higher. Wendy's, I am liking this pivot that's forming. Again, maybe not tomorrow, but this is the inverse chart, guys. This is the inverse chart just to show you. Look at this, right? Similar to how we see on a bullish chart, breaks over the 50-day, EMAs cross over, perhaps before or after. Look at this bear flag, right? Or pivot, or whatever people want to call it, goes up. Well, goes down in this case. But yeah, it's forming another base for me to look at. Wendy's. And I'm looking at some charts going all the way back to May 2022. It was as low as what's the 1567? It was as low as 1567, and then even lower at 1220. right? Some levels there, and again, there's probably some levels in between. Nice inside bar on the weekly. If it can close like this perfect, it gives us a good setup for a continuation the following week. I will be shorting this the next week. And sorry, before I continue, I forgot to mention how I'm gonna short. And some people may say, oh, shorts are risky. You can lose more than 100%. Correct. But what I will be doing is, since I'm risking only $30, $30 to $50 on the long side, what I will be risking is close to 10 to $15, probably 15, just to, like I said, have skin in the game. And I will be leaving wider stops. So, for example, I'll leave something up till 1750, even though this is low ADR, I believe. That's just, I just want to be able to collect data and see if I can make money on the short side. I see this as a positive. Some people don't short. I want to be able to short. Like, again, I come from an options trading background, poker background, where you have to learn sometimes to play with shit hands. So for me, another way you can look at this is an H pattern, right? Nice come down and pull back, and now it's going back. H pattern. Some people like to call it an H pattern. I would look at this bigger one as an H, but it didn't really get the movement. But another intermediate interim H there. 2 weak. It's weak. So low can go lower if high can go higher. And again, this is not me shorting all the way to zero. I want a quick buck, or I want some profits at 2R, and that will be dependent on my stop. And again, I'm not gonna leave too wide a stop. Maybe like here, $17. So it has some room, right, to move and maneuver. So yeah, that's Wendy's. Wendy. Snow. I remember this from the COVID days when I was struggling to trade options. Fucking ridiculous. I know tons of people that made money on those options for snow. And again, these are inverse charts, guys. Inverse charts. Broke over the 50-day. Now giving us a base on the daily. Weekly, looks interesting as well. Has some room to 108, $108. Currently sat around 126, 127. I don't think I'll short it tomorrow over the weekend, but if it gives me another sideways day next week, this is a nice base for me, and I'm looking for a base breakout. Breakdown, I should say. And again, I'm not targeting 108. I'm just giving myself some guidance in terms of what level there is on the weekly. I'm not looking to get to 108, guys. So yeah, this is just some fun on the short side. Need to evaluate a little bit more, some setups, but these are some stocks that I am liking on the short side. I know some of you guys, probably 90% of you won't short. I don't really see as much risk as other people. And sorry, these charts are inverted. So if you want to know how to invert, alt and I, guys. So yeah, 30 minutes from 40 minutes yesterday. The session's done for today. Didn't see too many other charts that I like. So yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. And yeah, we'll chat later.